Returning to the place where Corrie Mckeague was last seen in Bury St Edmunds, Colin Sutton was a senior detective for the Metropolitan Police, overseeing cases such as Millie Dowler's disappearance and subsequent murder. He thinks a third party is involved here.
Corrie was happy and had a good job and a happy life. It's also increasingly difficult these days to disappear without leaving a footprint somewhere, either in terms of banking or social media and that kind of thing. And even if you're smart and you try to make preparations, making those preparations themselves leaves a footprint, and I think it would be very difficult. My feeling is that that's not the answer to this. He hasn't done this on purpose. The sad truth is that the longer things go on, then the less likely it is that he will be found alive.
This CCTV shows Corrie Mckeague's last known movements walking down Brentgovel Street at 3:25 a.m. on the 24th of September after a night out. He turns to look towards the camera, back in the direction where he'd walked from, before going out of sight. The mystery is that CCTV footage captured Corrie Mckeague walking towards this area that's blocked off by a high wall and fence, but nothing was captured showing him leaving.
I don't think he would have had the knowledge as to where all the cameras were situated to avoid them on purpose. So that really plays into another kind of theory around how did he come out of this cul-de-sac? Was it in a vehicle that left here? Or indeed, did he, climb over these walls and these buildings here?
Corrie sent a text message just after 3 a.m. The phone was switched off hours later at Barton Mills, around 13 miles away, which coincides with the movements of a bin lorry that Suffolk police have seized.
Now, military intelligence grade software is helping to narrow down the possible outcomes of what happened to an RAF airman who went missing more than 3 months ago.
Private investigators are using specialist software to try to find Corrie Mckeague, who vanished after a night out in Bury St Edmunds. Ashish Joshi reports.
3.5 months after he vanished without trace, the family of missing airman Corrie Mckeague think they're closer to finding out what happened to him.
Where the information comes from, it starts online on social media.
Complex software designed by military intelligence experts is being used to filter through thousands of gigabytes of data collected since Corrie disappeared in September last year. The results have been used to narrow down his disappearance to a few possible outcomes.
It's quite public, as everybody knows, as the bin van. Under whatever circumstances, is it possible that Corrie left in that bin vehicle at around 4:20 a.m. in the morning? Yes, it's possible, and that's still an active line of inquiry. Or the full area has not been cleared, the buildings and the area itself. And that's everything, roofs, gutters, basements. Then we can say that's no longer possible. Corrie is not in that area. And that then only leaves two possibilities, and that's he left on foot or he left in a vehicle.
Corrie Mckeague went missing after a night out in Bury St Edmunds. There's been no significant police progress on the case, and the family have been forced to hire a team of former military intelligence experts to help them. They use the processed data to navigate teams on the ground, to rule out false leads, to narrow and define their search. Corrie left the Flex nightclub at 1 o'clock in the morning. He then went to Pizza Mamma Mia for a takeaway. 20 minutes later, he was seen on CCTV walking past the Grapes pub on the corner of Brentgovel Street and St Andrew Street. Corrie stopped to nap in the doorway of an electrical shop called Hughes. About 2 hours later, he walked into an area known as the Horseshoe. This was at 3:20 a.m. It was the last time he was seen on CCTV. Corrie's mobile phone had been tracked moving 12 miles to an area known as Barton Mills after he was last seen. The back of a mobile phone was found there by a member of the public, leading to speculation it could have been part of Corrie's Nokia phone. But police have ruled it out of their investigation. The police insist they are doing everything they can to find the gunner, spending thousands of hours poring over CCTV footage and physically searching for the missing airman. Even though the family is critical of the way the case has been handled, they will share this information, hoping it will lead to a breakthrough in finally finding out what happened to Corrie.
Corrie, where you see him walking down the road and then he stops and heads into the the bin area, on that side of the road, there is a huge area of business premises, private shops, empty properties, and there's a lot of properties there, and it's massive. Now, that has not been forensically searched. Every room has not been entered, and the only people that can go in and do this are the police. They have made some efforts. They have had civilians chap on doors with bits of paper asking if they'd been aware of anything happening to Corrie, or if they heard anything that night. Unfortunately, if it's someone that has somebody tied up in their house, or they've done something to Corrie, I wouldn't imagine they were about to tell the person standing at their door. There were 36 people seen walking around that area that night. So that means I think it's imperative that the last 6 people are identified. I'm looking for names. Some of those people are so identifiable, so please share them yourself, and let's really try to get these last people identified, because I can't believe that they're not important.
We started off seeing each other, and it was quite casual. We were both seeing other people at the time, and then we sort of led on to have conversations whereby we thought it was getting serious and what we were going to do and what plans we had. So yeah, we were sort of getting on our way to being just us and happy and seeing what we wanted out of each other and where it was going.
We know he disappeared at the end of September. How recently had you seen him before then?
I had seen him near enough the same week that he had gone missing. So I had seen him. I think I was, apart from the RAF boys, one of the last people to see him, which was quite hard.
But when he actually went missing, you happened to be away abroad with your family, didn't you? So when did you hear that he'd gone missing?
I had only been there literally a few days when I got the call from the RAF boys asking if I'd seen him or heard from him on the Monday, I think it was. And then that's when I knew that he was obviously missing, and then I very quickly got a plane home.
And then how long after that did you then discover that you were pregnant?
I found out I was pregnant a couple of weeks after I came back, obviously after going through police interviews, and unfortunately that I've had to make a massive decision by myself. I mean, I was hoping and praying that we'd find out some information, that he would come home so that we could make the decision together. We had conversations about children and what we'd wanted in the past, and it was something that I hoped that he would be here to help me make the decision, but unfortunately he isn't, so it's a decision I've had to make alone. And obviously I have the support of everyone around me and my family and friends, which is great, but it's still not the most pleasant thing to go through on your own, especially when the person you love is missing.
So why have you come out now and decided to announce it in this way?
So I've decided to tell everyone now, because I'm at a stage of my pregnancy where I'm happy, I'm slightly more emotionally relaxed as well as anything. However, this will be the only thing that I do. Given the stress levels that I'm under anyway, it's something that I just want to be put out there, and then I'm asking the public and the press to politely leave me alone.
And this will be your first grandchild.
It will, yeah.
It should be a joyous occasion for you. Can you feel any joy about it at the moment?
I was at the scan with April the other day, and I don't think anybody could see that and not be affected by it. But it is incredibly difficult to bounce my head, as it is for April as well, from the excitement of a new baby to what we're actually trying to focus on just now, and that's finding Corrie.
Nicola and April, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.